What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net. And behind me, you are going to see my pointer finger. No, behind my pointer finger, you are going to see, I know, the next Brougham of Brohamtoberfest officially, now that we're in December. Believe me, I know. I get it. I apologize. But here it is, a beautiful 1992 Brougham D'Elegance, however you want to say it. Absolutely gorgeous example. Super excited to bring it to you this week, folks. Absolutely stunner of a car. Might remember this one out of Canada. If you do, then you know the car already, but you'll get the details here in this video. Gonna do a full walk around of this car. Outside, inside, under the hood, in the trunk. We'll take it for a spin. I'll tell you all about it right here in this video. Price, everything. It's all gonna be here. Let's get into it. And here she is. An absolutely stunning 1992 Brougham D'Elegance. Don't get me riled up in the comments. It's a Brougham D'Elegance. 1992 model year, so the last year offered for this iconic 77 through 92 body style. Just a gorgeous example of this end of the road car, really, because after 92 it was a complete redesign for 93, as all you Cadillac guys and gals know. This was the end. This was the last one, and 92 was the lowest production number years for these cars. I don't know, but for some reason I want to say like 11,000, and this is me digging way back in my archive of knowledge. Why? Because I actually have one, and you guys have never seen it on this channel. I actually have a twin to this car that's hiding in my shop. Same color, same everything. Except mine's a 5.7 and it's got 25,000 miles on it. Beautiful car. I love the car. I just don't drive it. And you say, well, Anthony, why don't you drive your own cars? You should sell them if you don't drive them. I don't drive them because I get stuff like this and it's the same as mine. So why drive that one? I can drive this one. You know, it's like, whatever. Anyways, 11,000 or so, I believe, made for the 1992 model year. And this car is a beautiful example. This is a car that came out of Canada. It's a lifelong Canadian car up until I brought it here to the U.S., or officially back to the USA, because she had a brief stint early in her life that she was a Texas car, for all you, again, gurus that know. Born in Arlington, Texas, shipped directly up to Canada. This was a Canadian ordered car from new, then just re-imported back into the United States. She's now a New Hampshire resident, being registered in the state of New Hampshire. So welcome back to the USA. This is a 52,000 mile example. You guys might remember the video from when Papa Bear and I went up to Niagara Falls. The car came out of Toronto, but this car was a Canadian car, but just like my Fleetwood, the 93 Fleetwood that I had sold, this is just an absolute survivor. A car that was obviously not driven in the harsh Canadian winters. One that really survived. And, you know, it's a true testament to how nice a northern car can be if it's not driven in the winter. Because this is a very original car, from, you know, the side cladding all the way down to the rear filler panels are all original. Even the under license plate filler panels are perfect original examples that you just do not see anymore. I've only had a handful of these cars that still had original filler panels, all four on the back. Usually the quarter ones last the longest, the two under the license plate. Those seem to be the ones that go first. But all these are beautiful on this car. I believe it has the original headliner. Still perfect. I mean, it's just, again, cool climate, no heat, no humidity, sheltered garage car. So that's what I love. You know, I've had a few. I had one out of Chicago, the Academy Gray 92 that I had sold on Bring a Trailer. Shout out to my boy Morgan, who I know is probably watching this video. He bought that 92 from me, and I just recently seen it back in October. He met me down at Hershey with the car. and they still look fantastic. And that was a Chicago car, now living in the great state of Virginia. Hello to Morgan, hello to his son, his whole family, great people. I love the people that I meet through dealing these cars. You know, usually our relationship starts off as, you know, customer, but then we turn into a friendship. And guys like Morgan and all my other customers, I'm truly blessed to say, are now lifelong friends. So this was a Canadian car, and just like I said, loved. I mean, cherished. All those, you know, key points. Look at those emblems, how deep the color is on it. Now, color on this car is called Black Sapphire. I've had a few in this color. Shout out to my boy Justin down in Georgia, who bought, I think, maybe the last Black Sapphire D'Elegance that I had, which I think also was a 92. He watches my videos religiously. He's been waiting. He says, "Where's all the Brohms from Brometoberfest?" And he knows. He gives me crap on Facebook, but it's all right. I earned it for this one. But yeah, it's a beautiful color. It's a dark blue. You can see real dark navy. Almost looks black, you know, until you get it out in the sun. But at night, it definitely looks black. Navy blue top, and then navy blue D'Elegance interior. Just a really beautiful car. We're gonna go around. I'm gonna bust out my pointer finger here, the legendary pointer finger, and show you just a few little blemishes on this car. Very minor things. Again, this is a Survivor. 52,000 miles, just a clean car, but a well-loved, obviously cared-for car. And it's funny, when I get into the paperwork part of the video, I'll explain to you how I almost tried to buy this car, 3 years ago, and I missed out on it due to COVID. So we'll get into that, but we'll go around the car, and we'll point out just some little minor things. We'll start on the back corner here and work our way around, do it, I don't know if this is the normal way I do it. Chrome on this car is nice and bright. Again, original filler panels. You can see it has the original pinstriping on the filler. Now, the filler stripes are decals. They're vinyl, where the car is painted. So painted stripes down both sides, all the way to the header panel. And then the fillers are decals. And you can see it's a one-piece decal. Sometimes, and I've had to have fillers painted that I've tried to replicate it. You see one stripe overlap another. But in this case, when you get one piece like that, that is the original filler panel. Now, on this filler panel, you can see this hairline scratch here. And I am scared to death to wet sand and try to buff it out. It's not deep. It's like, I know it can be wet sanded and buffed, but where it is, right on the top kind of edge, it's a real risky spot to wet sand and buff, and I don't want to burn through the paint. So it's not horrible. You know, you got to really get up on it to notice it, but I just want to throw it out there that it's there. But you can see beautiful paint on this car all throughout. The Brougham D'Elegance emblems on the quarter panels, lower rockers, lower cladding, all nice and clean, beautiful silver. Couple little minor, you can see like a little like pebble, like just a few little minor chips that you need like a pinpoint, you know, touch up to touch up. But beautiful top on this car. Now that I got it outside, it looks like I have to go over it again. I had used, you can kind of see it's a little blotchy. It's a beautiful top, don't get me wrong, but what I used was aerospace or 303 vinyl protectant, and I think now that I have it outside, it's like dyed back. It was the first coat, and it looked good inside, but you can kind of see a few spots where it's getting a little blotchy. I got to reapply it. Probably needs 2 or 3 coats to, you know, kind of set, but it's an absolute gorgeous top. It's got all the stitching down both sides, and you can even see it right there. Let me see if I can focus there. Beautiful stitching, beautiful top, all the way down, rear glass. Just a super, super nice car. Let's see, new tires. I do have the original Royal Steel tires for this car. They weren't on it when I bought it, but I got them from the owner. They're pretty roached, but if somebody, whoever buys this car, wants those tires, excuse me, I'll obviously include them, but they're going to have to go in the trunk. I don't know where else to put them. I'm pretty sure I can get 4 in the trunk, but obviously I didn't put them in the trunk when I bought the car. I had my truck with me. But if you do want the tires, I will include them. They are the original Royal Seals, but obviously at 50,000 miles, you can assume how pretty worn they are, you know, for 50,000 miles, and obviously being the age. They're obviously not safe to drive on, but for, you know, concours quality shows, I get it. So if you want them, I do have them. Hoping my microphone is kicking down this wind. I brought it with me today, knowing that you might get a little breeze here and there. Beautiful, beautiful paint on this car all the way throughout. Let's see another tiny itty bitty chip right there, just like a little guy. I don't know, you know, just something small that nicked it. A couple little marks right here just on this door edge, obviously from opening and closing the door and bumping into something. Beautiful stainless, beautiful bright work, chrome on the mirrors, nice and bright. Looks like a tiny, not pointing, tiny little spot right there where it might have scarred something on that molding. Nice original windshield. A wheel arch trim. No dings over here. I'm down the fender. Again, just painted all the way down, including the headers. The headers were painted. Kind of has that same V shape, you know, one kind of swoop, but it is painted. The fillers were the only decal part. This is how I wander. I was starting to say these tires were replaced by the previous owner. Vercelli Classic 787s. Nice tires. Good chunky tread. Beautiful white walls. But I do have the original tires. All the wire hubcaps are in really nice shape. I do have the locking key now. I did not have the locking key. I didn't realize that when I had got the car. I did not get the locking key with it. And I got a funny story about the hubcap locks. I'll tell you again when I'm going through that paperwork. Really nice paint on this car. Couple little spots that I noticed that were touched up somewhere. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Right here you can see a little guy right there. Want to say there might have been one on the hood. Right, yep, right there. Couple little like white sap marks. I think maybe those two might be little chips. And then right here, about the size of a $50. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. But there's a spot where it looks like, right there, looks like maybe bird poop or something sat on the paint just a little too long and kind of etched just a little bit. See if I can focus there. Right there in that spot. It doesn't slap you in the face, but it's there. All the chrome bright work on the front end of the car is really nice. Impact strips, nice original. Couple little very minor little chips here and there. Some little few spots of old bug carnage, and you can see a little bit like one there and there on these front filler panels. So this car, I saw in the pictures of the appraisal that I'm going to show you, they had a bug like screen here. And I don't know what it is with you guys up in Canada, for all my Canadian watchers. You guys must get insane bugs up there, because even my 93 Fleetwood had a ton of bugs. I had to put a radiator in that car, and they were just wedged in there between the AC condenser and the radiator. And a few of the town cars that I got from Canada had these like weird bug screens built into them. So with that screen there, you can see it made a couple little chafe marks there, and then one right there, protecting obviously the radiator grill. But on the outside part, they probably saw throughout its life a few spatters of bug. But overall, very nice. A little chip touched up there, one there, and one right there. Headlights and everything, nice and bright. Grill, beautiful grill. I love the grills on these 90 to 92 Brohams. But you can see just a few spots throughout this panel. And if I remember right, you can see right here, a little scratch in the chrome face bar. Got the two-phase headlamp monitors. I don't know where the sun went. It was sunny out, and it looks like we're getting some cloud coverage here. Get another, just maybe it better if I don't point to it. Yeah, right there. You can see it if I don't point to it. And then a small little, again, maybe a little sap mark or something right there. Power antenna. Excussion, I think is what they call it. Perfect. Hello, there I am. Like my haircut? I got a haircut yesterday. I look a little bit more handsome, my wife says. Again, another Vercelli classic. Wire caps. Nice and clean down here. Chrome on the mirrors, really nice. All the stainless bright work around all the windows and stuff. Original PPG glass. Again, the top is in really nice shape on this car. I will go over it again. You can kind of see my white marks here. Inside it looked great, but I think now that I got it out, it was out in the sun for a little while today. I think it kind of absorbed in. And I think that was the first time the top had ever been treated with anything, because it didn't look like it had before. If it did, it was a long time ago. Lower portion here is nice. Little guy right there. See, that looks like maybe some type of adhesive or something. Might try, see if I can get some mineral spirits to maybe take that off. But otherwise, moldings are nice and bright. All the original door edge guards. And there is a tiny guy right there. You can see a little ding. And then I think on this hubcap, down the bottom here, you can see a little ding on the crown. So this hubcap, well, I think, it's definitely this hubcap. I'll tell the funny story now. Well, actually, you know what? Let me finish my walk around and then I'll tell the hubcap story. All the chrome bright work. Nice. Come over that deck lid. Really, really nice shape. Nice bright colors in these crests. Face of the bumper, top part of the bumper is in really nice shape. You can see if you get really up close, you can see a few little light scratches and abrasions, probably from people either, putting something in or out of the car at one point. You can see right there. Excuse me. Kind of if I cast a shadow over it, you can see a few little marks there. But no runoff. Like, if you leave these cars outside and they're outside cars, a lot of times you see rainwater runoff from when it drains through the trough. It'll continuously run here and it'll actually wear the chrome off. Face bar is in nice shape. Impact strip is in beautiful shape. And again, look at the filler panels. They have nice gloss to them. It's just stuff that you don't see up here. I have a few cars with original fillers left on them, and they're coming apart, but these ones are far from coming apart. If you bring the car down to a hot or humid climate and it's not in a climate-controlled garage, that's going to shorten their lifespan, but just nice to see original fillers. Again, with that original tape stripe. Only original once, I know. All right, let's get on to the inside. We'll get the inside done, and then I'll tell you the funny stories with hubcaps and stuff, because, I don't know, I don't think it's supposed to rain out, but it's getting a little dark out. All right, let's take a look on the inside now of this beautiful Brougham, because, again, if blue is the color of choice here, if you don't like blue, this car will not do. Just like the last one, you had to love white to really love the car. You can see here, build date of 92, January of 92, but Canadian, a little welcome sticker there. Inside the jams, nice and clean, no rust, no corrosion. You know, just beautiful jams, protector, what do they call these things? Hinge covers, protectors, whatever. Because, of course, Cadillac people should not be looking at their door hinges. I assume that was probably for that, and maybe to cover, you know, women getting in and out of the car. You don't want them to get any grease on their dresses or anything fancy like that. All the door gaskets are in fantastic shape on this car. Nice, soft door gaskets all the way throughout. You know, all those high traffic areas, very, very nice. Even the armrest, beautiful, no cracks or anything like that. Seat belts, nice and tight. Bright work around the switches, switch plates, bezels, all fantastic. Dashboard, no cracks. I mean, never. And that, again, this is like, you know, down in Texas, this car outside, those dashboards cracked by just looking at them. Up in Canada, northern states, even around here, like it's uncommon for the dashboards to crack. Even in, like, when I get parts cars from around here, I get a lot of nice dash pads. Seat, beautiful D'Elegance, padded leather, plush. The stitching on the back here, even on the high traffic side bolster, really nice shape. Couple little minor spots where you always see it on these D'Elegance seats. You know, how they stitch the seat together, there's a little high spot right there, and you just kind of get that wear mark when you come over. Nice, clean though, no rips or tears or anything like that. You know, we got your typical leather creases from the leather starting to wear in. Carpeting is nice. Oh, my nose is starting to run. It's getting cold out. I don't know. We must have weather coming in or something. I haven't been paying attention to the weather lately because I've been sad having to now wear pants. I had to retire my shorts for the season. Got the cool Cadillac crests on the door locks. But I mean, just look at the bright work here throughout. Ashtrays, never been used. Obviously, cigarette lighters, same thing. But like, not even like rusty. Sometimes they get a little bit of water in here. If you leave a window down, they get all trashed, even on a low mileage car. But this one is nice, nice, nice. So we get a little bit of a thread or something. The trim panel here, seat not beat up or anything. Carpeting, fantastic. That beautiful D'Elegance kind of gives it almost a little bit of a wraparound look when it kind of bolsters out like this. Beautiful, soft, supple leather in this car. Rear package tray, headliner, fantastic. Even inside all these door jams, nice and clean, shiny. And yes, those door strikers are supposed to be painted. Every now and again I get somebody in the comments, oh, that car's been repainted and recolored because the door strikers aren't supposed to be painted. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And in the jams, nice and clean. Door gaskets, nice, soft, supple, not torn up anywhere. D'Elegance, the door panels. You can see a weird spot here. Can you kind of see like a shiny spot? I don't know what that is. It's like something maybe rubbed. I don't know. It doesn't come off. I thought it was the first, like maybe like grease or oil or something that created that shine, but it's like something just like kind of, I don't know, smoothed it out and shined it. It's weird, very strange. Nice and clean. Again, the seat backs, great shape. Panels, not all marred up. The matte back pockets, nice and tight. Carpeting, beautiful. Leather, beautiful. We got a flip down center armrest. No cup holders back here. No cup holders, but got the oh shit handles. That was part of one of the packages, those handles. They didn't, not all of these Brohams came with them. And inside the jam's nice and clean. No rust. And the covers are in nice shape, no cracks. A little dusty, apparently from me missing a spot, but oh, we got the street lights coming on. Time to go home per Mama's rules. Gaskets, very, very nice. Again, seat belts, armrests. All the window sweeps, inside and outside, are nice and perfect. Chrome. You know, just all the trim around here. Usually you start to see this get really chewed up in the buttons and stuff. Because all that is just like foiled chrome on plastic. But this is a really nice version. Again, dash pad's beautiful. All that fake plastic burl wood. Gorgeous. Carpeting. We got the oh shit bin. Oh, litter bin. Oh, litter bin. The litter bin. The old litter bin. Oh, it's been a long day. Beautiful leather in this car. I love it. Nice, soft, supple. I really don't think it had many passengers, really. You know, you got a little bit of the creasing and stuff on the driver's side. See it from this side and the angle of this seat, so you get a kind of a full in-depth picture. But yeah, all the buttons and everything are there. Armrest, I mean, just not beat in or anything cracked up. Even the foam on the inside there, that's to hold your cassettes when you put the cassettes in here. Usually that starts to deteriorate. Nothing. Got the original flip open cup holder. Those are usually long gone. Coin holder and 2 complimentary Kenny Rogers cassettes. Compliments of the previous owner. We'll get in and show you some of the details there. Just a minute. Auto dimming rear view mirror. Just absolutely beautiful. All right, now let's get behind the wheel. Warm up a little bit. All right, behind the wheel where it's a little warmer. I'm going to do a quick under hood and in the trunk before I get into the paperwork part, but I'll show you the keys, what I got for it. I got 3 sets of keys, an original gold set, an original silver set, and then an aftermarket 3rd set of the H&E keyway combos. Let's take those beautiful gold-plated keys. We'll key it up. You can see all the telltale lights lighting up. Got the chime still works. 52,827 miles, or 85,000 kilometers. That's the thing I love about these cars is you don't, when you Americanize them, you don't have to, you know, reprogram or change clusters. You just hit that button and bam. But we'll show you that in a second. Let's pop that trunk. You'll see the little trunk telltale light up. We'll go take a look under the hood as well. Pop this guy open here, and you can see nice, clean, tidy. Everything is how it should be. All the gasket and everything is nice. Excuse me, not torn up, not beat up. The power unit works. We do have all 4 original floor mats. And then, of course, the trunk mat underneath. Spare tire, jack and everything is mounted up there. And then in this corner, you have the lock for the fuel door lock. You got the male portion there, goes into the female portion there, and then when you lock it, and this is off the central locking, so you know, if you power lock your doors, this locks as well, and then boop, can't be stealing my gas. All inside the jam, nice, no rust up in here. Got the SPID tag or SPID label for all the options. Close this down, easy close, power pull down, perfect. We'll come up front here, pop the hood open, Nice tidy engine bay as well. Again, just not rusty. This car was dusty, not rusty. You know how I like to describe them. Very clean. A Canadian car, you'd expect it to be trashed, but it's absolutely beautiful under here. Obviously well cared for, well loved. AC has been retrofitted by the previous owner. Must have still been R12 because he told me that he did that. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, 305, 5 liter. I know everybody, oh, it's not a 5.7. I get it. But you know what? When you're looking for a nice, clean Brougham D'Elegance, everybody wants everything. Everybody wants a D'Elegance. Everybody wants a 5.7. Everybody wants a sunroof. Everybody wants triple black or triple white. I do have 2 triple whites coming up. D'Elegances, 5.7s. Not to shun off of this one, but I get it. But you know what? These cars are as old as they are. They made them for 3 years. 91, 92, I lean to be the better years because you get the base clear. How many of them are still out there? So if you're holding yourself up from buying a car like this because it's got to be a 5.7, you're out of your mind. I could care less. In fact, I mean, I love the bragging rights, don't get me wrong, but I would never not buy one just because it's a 5 liter. The common misconception with these is the 5 liters are old 307s. They're not. 1990 was the last year. So the 90 body style, I get it. Old 307, it's carbureted. A small block Chevy 305 versus a small block Chevy 350. It is what it is. And the thing is 5 liter 307, I get this. Beautiful. I drove this car back. It did not skip a beat on the highway. Kept up with traffic. I was doing 80, 85 at some points down the New York State Thruway. But look at how nice and clean this is. Obviously a replacement radiator, but just everything is so clean and nice and tidy. Got the block heater. Obviously shows you it's Canadian heritage. Under hood light works. Just really nice. So please, I always say don't let distance stop you. Don't let a 5 liter stop you. You know, because it's a big myth. I mean, yeah, a little bit maybe more torque on the highway, but a very minimal difference. All right, let's jump behind the wheel and let's take this love boat for a spin. All right, now we're inside where it is nice and comfortable. I don't have the heat on or anything, but I'll show you what I got for Book's key. Oh, I already showed you the keys. This is the green hubcap key. All 4 hubcaps are now green keyed hubcaps. I'll get into that story when I start driving. Original owner's manual. This is in French. This is in English. This is the maintenance guide. This is the actual owner's manual. Thought that was pretty funny. Even though warranty and assistant, I've never seen that before. What if that was a Canadian thing? That's in English. Then we have a folder here of just tons of random things, you know, from when this car was new. The original, personalized maintenance program from the John Bear, Canadian spec, GM safety belts. Let's talk GM. Pamphlet. Got the original Royal Seal tire pamphlet. Very cool to have that. Discover beautiful Nova Scotia. Looks like an old ID card for maybe for insurance. Mid-North Motors, Buick GMC. This looks like a checklist to check, everything. Maybe when the cars went in for service, tire pressures. Got 2 of those. Wish they had mileage on them, but they just have the dates. Oil change, grease and filter. Got a build sheet here. Oil change, probably some registration stuff. This is the original order form for this car. Base unit 37.5 plus tax freight. I don't know why it came to 44.7. Maybe got a warrant. Oh, sales tax, GST on subtotal 2,700. Provincial sales tax 31. Holy shit! That's why I guess why I love New Hampshire. Live free or die state. No sales tax. But Alex McGeckern. And this here, this is kind of cool. So this is the original This is how I tied myself to this car. I tried buying this car back when there was still COVID restrictions. This car went on the market. This is an appraisal of this car from back in 2022, but where are the pictures? These pictures here are the pictures that they advertised this car with, and I wanted to buy it, and I contacted the people, and you can see it's missing one of the hubcaps. Yeah, right there. But also you can see it had that grill guard on there, the bug guard on the grill. It even had, and this is like what I really like, deja vu. Like I knew I've been here once before and I've seen this car. Ah! These pictures here, you can see, had plastic all over the front and rear carpeting. Somebody loved this car. The original owner loved this car. It's a 2-owner car now. This car was sold to one of my followers, but now I'm happy to say that I have the car. All right, let's take it for a spin. Dual locks, auto locks work great. So as we get to the highway, I'll tell you the funny story with the hubcaps. Well, it's not really a funny story. I didn't even realize that the hubcap key was missing when I bought this car, and I drove it all the way back. But I had sent the car in for service, and I said, pull the wheels off, check it out and everything. Brakes and whatnot, oil change. And my guy over at the service shop calls me up and says, hey, Anthony, we need another hubcap key. He says another hubcap key because last couple Cadillacs I've sent over there didn't have hubcap keys. I'm going to do a quick reflection check. Oh, they tinted the windows. Or they frosted them. Well, it is what it is. Anyways, so he called me up. He said, Anthony, we need another hubcap key. I'm like, pop one of the centers off and tell me what color it is, because they're all color-coded. So that one is green. It's got a green cap, and it's got a G on the barrel of the key. He popped it off. He said, it's DB. That's for dark brown. They do DB because it's a blue for a blue. They can't do B for blue and B for brown, so they do dark brown. Anyways, I said, dark brown. Shit, I don't have a dark brown. I looked and looked and looked, and ironically, I just bought a dark brown key from someone on eBay, and one of my followers turns out, and it's from Canada, so I'm waiting to get that. But anyways, I said, well, do you have the lock removal tool? There's a special tool if you don't have the key to take them off. He says, yeah, we'll get them off, no problem. We won't, mess them up. I said, I'll figure out. I got, keys and locks. I'll just replace the locks if I have to. So they pulled all the caps off, serviced the car, and then he calls me back, says the car's all set. The hubcaps are in the trunk. He says, funny thing is, I pulled the caps off, and just that first one I pulled off was dark brown. All the other ones were green. I said, there's a missing hubcap in that picture when this car was bought. So whoever bought the car from the estate and then sold to my friend, actually I say who, I know who. I'm friends with a guy on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram up in Canada. They must have had to get a used hubcap and put it on there. And I don't know how they screwed it on, because they obviously didn't have a dark brown key. I wouldn't have thought. I don't know. But I didn't get any keys. So anyways, because I keep every single part I ever put my hands on, I obviously had green locks. So I replaced that dark brown lock with a green lock, and I was able to put all the caps back on and then include a key for the car. So that wasn't, I guess, a funny story, but just a rambling story as we get to the highway here. So as far as service work that I did to this car, it didn't need much, but it had a vacuum leak. It had a high idle issue when I got the car, and I think that was part of the vacuum leak. I think there was two things contributing to that, but it idles beautifully now. And honestly, that's what took me so long to get this car ready. I was hoping to have this car ready back in October, but chasing this vacuum leak, and it ended up being something totally simple and something that 3 people told me to look for, but I had never changed or replaced on one of these cars. And I'm like, I just kept overlooking it, and that ended up, I think, being the issue. But so I ended up sending the car out for service after I couldn't figure it out. We did all new brakes all the way around, pads, rotors in the front, wheel seals, repacked the bearings, etc. Rears, we did drums, shoes, and then new wheel cylinders, bled the brakes. Did an oil change, obviously, and then did the gasket between the throttle body and the intake. That gasket had a leak, and that was causing a high idle. We also replaced I had them replace the idle air control valve. That was all gummed up and carboned up, so I said, just do it, you're already there, and now she idles beautifully. What would happen, and I didn't really realize this until I was driving it a distance, was you'd come off an exit ramp, and this car just kept moving. Like, you take your foot off the gas, and I mean, it would slow down a little bit, but like, it did not want to, it wouldn't come to a stop. Or if you were coming off a stop, like a stoplight, and you let your foot off the gas, this car would accelerate. Like, you have to hold it back. I don't know how long it had been like that, but I noticed it. I'm like, holy shit. It was idling at like 1,300 RPMs. And that's way too high. There's no tack in these cars. I got that from plugging it in. OBD1 port. Actually, let's check cruise. Cruise works. Cruise holds. So with that service, the vacuum leak, there was two things that were vacuum leaking. That intake gasket, or not the intake gasket, the throttle body to intake gasket on the top of the intake. And then there was also a leak you could hear hissing inside the dash or behind the dash. There's a vacuum line that was for the emergency brake release that was leaking as well. So the automatic emergency brake wouldn't release. And these don't have a release. You put them into gear and the vacuum releases it. So that wasn't doing that. So I fixed that, and I thought that was it, and then it's still kind of idle high. I'm like, I give up. And 3 people had told me before I sent it into the shop, but I'm like, you know what? Have a professional do this, and that's what took me so long. Anyways, so that's the 92 Brougham. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm sorry it took me so long. Yes, I have 3 more. 2 I'm working on now. The other one, I kind of, same thing. I threw my hands up. I sent it to the same shop that I got this one back from. So we got 3 of them being worked on, and I don't know, December Fest, whatever, Christmas to remember, Brougham Christmas to remember, we'll see. I am getting them done. They are on my list to get the hell out of my shop. I love them, but I've had them too long. Anyways, thanks for watching. 978-930-1004. Any questions, give me a call. Totally appreciate everybody for watching, and a shout out to everybody out there, but specifically my buddy who sold me this car, and all my friends who watch me for Broughams, Morgan, all you guys, I totally appreciate you all the time. I appreciate the gentleman who sold me this car. Super, super nice. I love meeting the people that I deal with on these cars. A true gentleman. He said, Anthony, and there was a little bit of a time delay between me getting up there. Just awesome people. I met him and his wife. Just fantastic. I am blessed beyond words. Any questions, give me a call, 978-930-1004. Head over to my website, specialtymotorcars.net, for all the still pictures over there on the web. Don't let distance stop you from getting a dream car like this in your driveway. I'll ship it anywhere. Let me know where it's got to go. One call can do it all. I'll get it put on a truck, and I will get it to you. One other thing I do want to mention, though, this car, now that it's Americanized, New Hampshire, I will tell you this, just like my 93 Fleetwood, New Hampshire is not a title state. So once I Americanize them, I essentially get a New Hampshire registration. New Hampshire does not issue titles for cars that are older than 2000. So for me to sell a car that's older than 2000, last registered in New Hampshire, with no title, I sell it on my previous registration, which I have, and I will include a New Hampshire reassignment form from my dealership to you, bill of sale, you're good to go. Registerable in all 50 states, I promise you. A lot of people get weirded out, oh, there's no title. Yes, there is no title from my state for this car, but when you bring it to whatever state it's going to, whether it's, California or Georgia or whatever, they abide by the state that it's coming from's rules, because I can't get a title for it. That's just how it is. So I promise you, you're all good there. Last one that I had, my 93 Fleetwood, went up to Illinois, no issues. Anyways, 978-930-1004. Price point on this car, Going to be $27,995 for this 92 Brougham D'Elegance. Again, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you on the next one.